Hello and welcome. In this tutorial, you will learn how to serve up Voyant tools using Docker in a fun way. Docker is designed to make running complex applications like Voyant tools simpler and more reliable. I'll be using the restaurant kitchen analogy to help you visualize the process in an intuitive way, making it easier to remember and apply this concept in your own work. A Docker image is a recipe that contains all the ingredients and instructions, in this case, for making Voyant tools. And when you run that image, Docker prepares a container, your delicious dish that comes live on your computer. I will show you how to install Docker Desktop, setting up your professional kitchen, download and pull Voyant tools image, which is like getting the perfect recipe. Run and configure the container to cook up your application. Setting up a Docker volume to create a data pantry, ensuring your work is saved up after you clean up. Now that we understand the basics of Docker, it's time to set up our kitchen. In this case, our kitchen is your computer. And the first step is to download Docker Desktop, the essential equipment that lets you run Docker container. To start, open your web browsers and go to the docker.com. Once you're on the site, you will see a highlighted download button. Think of this as the door to your new kitchen appliance store, where you will get the right tools for cooking setup. Next, you will need to select the appropriate version for your platform, whether you're using Windows, macOS, and another operating system, just like choosing the right oven or stove for your kitchen. It is important to pick the version that matches your computer operating system. After selecting the correct version, click the download button and allow the installer to download to your computer. Once it's finished, run the installer to begin the installation process. Now that you're in the Docker dashboard, it's time to find a recipe for Voyant tool. In the search bar at the top of the Docker desktop, type in Voyant tools/Voyant tools. Think of this step like flipping through a cookbook to find a specific recipe you need for a delicious dish. Once you located the Voyant tool image, click on the pull button. This action downloads the Voyant tool image to your computer. Essentially, it's like taking a copy of the recipe and saving it in your personal cookbook. Now that your image is stored locally, your recipe for creating the Voyant tool dish is ready and waiting for you. With the recipe in hand, you're now set to start cooking up Voyant tool. In our next step, we'll see how to run this image as a container so that you can enjoy the finished dish. In a Docker Desktop, navigate to the Images tab. Here, you will see the Voyant tools image we just downloaded. To begin preparing your dish, simply click the play button next to the Voyant image. After clicking play, an optional settings arrow will appear. Click that arrow to expand the setting. One key setting you need to configure is the host path. Set the port to 8080. You can think of this like assigning a table in your restaurant where your dish will be served. Once you've set the host port, simply click the Run button. This tells Docker to start cooking up your dish using the recipe with all the necessary configuration in place. With the container running, Docker will display its logs. These logs are like the kitchen progress report, giving you updates on how your dish is coming along. Don't worry about the technical details in the logs. They just show the process of your dish being prepared. Next, we explore how to shut down the container properly when you're done, ensuring that your kitchen stays neat and ready for the next dish. Once you're done using Voyant 2, it's time to clean up your kitchen. In Docker Desktop, switch over to the Containers tab. Here, you will see a list of all running containers. Locate your running Voyant container and simply click the Stop button next to it. Think of this step as turning off the stove and cleaning up the kitchen once your meal is finished. This helps ensure that your resources are freed up and your system remain organized. One important reminder: by default, when you stop your container, any data stored inside it may be lost, just like if you throw away all your leftovers without storing them properly. To prevent this, it is essential to set up a Docker volume, which acts as your kitchen's pantry for data storage. This way, even after you clean up the container, your important data remains safely stored and ready for your next cooking session. That wraps up the process of shutting down your container.